morning and evening, everyone. Welcome to Paranormal Perth West Australian Chat. With me is I have my lovely co-hosts from around the world. We have Nick Muley from Chicago. We have Chris from the US, and we have Colorado, and we have Nicole from the US as well. So,
Yeah,
welcome.
Nicole, you made it just in time.
Woohoo!
Represent. Before I start this, I just want to do a friendly reminder. Bullying, harassment will never be tolerated in the paranormal field. On behalf of Paranormal Perth and also Things Network, also please be respectful for locations, investigators, and other teams, how they investigate and where they investigate. And just keep being respectful, because at the end of the day, we all want to do the same thing, and just be respectful. And that's what I've got to say on that note. So,
yeah, look who also just showed up. Hey, Robert, you made it.
Go to bed, Robert. Go to bed, Nick.
And for those viewers who don't know who Robert is from Australia as well. He's from the other side of Australia, over in Queensland.
Yeah, Queensland, Central Queensland, still here. Haven't made to haven't made to Victoria yet.
Not yet.
How have you guys been hanging in there with? Because Nikki, I know you sent a lot of the videos to me about the fires and stuff. And Robert, I know you said you guys have been having flooding. How's everything going on both sides of Australia lately?
Robert, you go first, mate.
Well, they're saying that down in Brisbane's getting enough water to make floods now too. Over the last couple of days, there was a low pressure trough that went through, dumped about 500 mil, so about 50 centimeters, which is probably about over that much of water.
Oh,
so that caused flash flooding and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, every two and a half centimeters is an inch. So
Jeez.
500 is about 10 inches at least.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
I think I'm going to start talking in centimeters.
Yeah, you better. It makes things so much bigger.
Right?
What about you, Nikki?
Yeah. We've had a few bushfires. We did have a cyclone up north on Monday, kind of Kimberley-ish area. Down here, we've had a few bushfires. Unfortunately, some have been deliberately lit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But we're doing okay, touch wood.
Good. That's what's most important. Sorry to hear that, that some of these bushfires were in a way man-made. They were started intentionally. That's never a good sign.
Yeah. But besides that, we're doing good.
Joanne?
Yeah. What about yourself?
Hey.
Hey, Joanne.
So she is one of my lovely followers from Paranormal Perth, West Australia. Nick, what about yourself? Anything up here?
Not very. Well, not very much, apart for, in my case, with Chris and Robert, how like crazy with Minecraft, and all the times I've had to tell, even though he's not on, and all the times I've had to tell Tom to go to bed.
You and your doorman stuff.
Yeah, the doorman. Yeah, but honestly, I mean, apart from that, it's been pretty quiet for me. There hasn't really been too much going on. I mean, apart from also working, and I will just throw this out is next Sunday on the 22nd, the same day we're also going to be having the 22-hour event, which very briefly Nick Files is going to be making a brief comeback. But unlike most episodes, I'm actually going to do it pre-recorded because that same also going to be basically, for me, the first Paracon of 2026, which is the Great Oaks NWI Paracon, which will be down, which is thankfully it's not even that far away from me. It's going to be in Cedar Lake, Indiana, which is it's literally right over the Illinois-Indiana border. So just an hour, not too far. It's just a one-day event, but a good way to start off the 2026 paranormal season. Yes, it's still in a way, is still kind of early in the season for me to head out. But as long as it's not terribly far and the weather, you know, works out,
Stay up.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
I'm good to go. So either way, it should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yep.
As
Is
far as
Jeremy gonna go?
I did bring that up to Jeremy, but unfortunately, it doesn't sound like he can make it. Although he did point out, however, that where they're having it in Cedar Lake, it's not that far away from Crown Point, which is where the Old Lake County Jail is, in which Jeremy and I have investigated it numerous times. Which at some point, he doesn't know exactly when, but sometime this year, especially once it starts getting warmer out, we are going to try to head back to the jail at some, real soon. We just don't know exactly when, but hopefully soon. But that's the other thing too is as far as actual investigations, we're still kind of those are still kind of up in the air. Like I do have a list, they just haven't been officially scheduled. Well, except for I take part of that back, except for one. Um, Funny enough, another Paracon that's going to be happening in March, which is going to be called the Obscura Paracon. That's going to be happening in DeKalb, Illinois, which is about 70 miles west of here, so the opposite direction. And it's a 2-day event. But then after the first night, they're having an investigation at the Egyptian Theater located in downtown DeKalb. It is a location I've investigated before, so I'm hoping to take part of it again. It's definitely a location that certainly doesn't disappoint because we've had a couple things that were going on. The honest thing I could say is that I'm glad we're going at this time of the year because the last time that I went to the theater, um, we went. They had no air conditioning, and we went during the height of summer, like in August. Oh my god, it was freaking hot in that building. So
Did you get a tan?
yeah, at least. I mean, it was just like I mean, it was so stressful on the investigation. But considering now we're going in March, it shouldn't be that bad as it was before. So, but either way, we're looking forward. Oh, and also just to throw a little historical trivia fact about the Egyptian theater. The theater was built in 1929, which
In
it was.
Egypt.
What's that?
In Egypt?
No, it was built here in DeKalb. No, it's funny. Well, it's funny you mentioned that actually because the theater was actually at a time in the late 20s, early 30s. It was at a time when Egyptian culture became very popular because it was shortly after the discovery of King Tut's tomb in 1922. So it led into this huge fascination with Egyptian culture, and throughout. I'm not sure if it really went through other countries, but in the United States, they built several different Egyptian theaters with that theme. So, but as far as today goes, though, sadly, the Egyptian theater, the one in DeKalb, this is one of the last few Egyptian theaters still standing. Unfortunately, many of the other Egyptian theaters throughout the country have all been torn down and remodeled many years ago. In total honesty, there's only, not just the one I'm talking about, total honesty, there's only 5 Egyptian theaters still standing to this day. And the one that's, yeah, and the one that we have here is the last remaining theater standing east of the Mississippi River. The other 4 on the other side, located out in the west.
Interesting.
Because the West is better.
Yeah, I guess I don't know exactly where the other 4 are located, Chris, but I know they're definitely somewhere. I think either in the south. I think most likely in the west or northwest.
Yeah.
But that's where the other 4 theaters are. But no doubt, probably like the others, one thing for sure is that the one we have here is, if not all 5 of them, are said to be haunted.
I mean, it's better than Illinois.
I don't start. Hey, what's up, Kate? Good to see you here. Well. What do we have here?
Thank you. Hi.
Hey, Tom.
I told you we're back.
So you should see. No, we've never done anything like that before. I don't know where he's getting that idea.
Yes, you have.
It's directly after he's seen a cockroach.
Oh God, no! You guys traumatized the hell out of me earlier coming out supernatural talk.
Real cockroaches.
Oh, poor Nick.
Yeah, I deleted those. I don't have them.
That's okay. They're still on the internet.
They may be on the internet, but at least I don't have to deal with it.
Oh.
Nikki, what have you guys have had any investigations or anything recently?
So we've had a few. We did last time we spoke. I think we're heading off to York. That was pretty interesting. We're planning on going back again in May. Also, we are going to Beverly in May to do a haunted hotel. Also, we are planning to do some home investigations as well. They'll like to remain anonymous, which is totally fine, but we will be putting up photos and stuff like that, just not naming them. Also, we're planning to do a hospital again. Please do not trespass in that hospital because it is shut. But you can investigate the grounds and stuff like that, but obviously not going into the building. We have consent with that. Some tunnels and some other locations around WA. So fingers crossed.
Chris, I remember you were telling me about this before. Just send me a reminder again, because I know it was a while back you mentioned this. So tell me again, but what's going on with the Abbey in Canyon City?
Yeah, Nicole said it all right there. I really don't remember.
Yeah, Nicole, if you want to say something too, go ahead.
Nicole
I
might
haven't.
remember more than me.
Chris has been there more recently than I have.
It's shut
He
down
saw
now.
it right before they shut it from everybody to
Yeah, it's
investigate.
completely shut down now. So there's no public access anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're turning it into what you said, apartments and shopping on like the first floor.
Yeah, shopping on the ground, boutiques, and then I think hotels. They said now on the top two.
So
floors.
stupid.
Oh, that's ridiculous. They're
And the
again,
basement's gonna stay the basement. And
that's just asking for trouble. Again, if they're doing that, again, they're clearly doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
yeah, it's strictly from what I was told. The person who owned it, it's basically just here's money. See if you can make money off this area.
Oh, Tom,
Yeah.
I'm gonna forward that to Nick, and Nick's gonna put that up.
See, that's the thing about some of these locations is that when they sell them, you hear the old thing about money talks, and indeed it does. So it's almost more like greed, if anything, and that's
It really is.
it's got to that's so frustrating when things like this have to happen.
I mean, it's in Canyon City. Canyon City, Colorado is home to what, 5 prisons?
Yeah,
It's not like a big city, it's a small little town. They're not going to make money.
Right, exactly.
Right.
The
It's not like-
closest thing you have right there is the Royal Gorge.
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to think what else is it. That's it, and
Yeah, pretty much.
the prison museum. That's
Yeah.
it too.
Amanda?
And I've never been to the prison museum. I heard it's pretty cool too.
You've never been to the
I
prison museum?
visited it, but I've never investigated.
Yeah, investigated it. I should say I've been to it.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say I've been there myself, but we didn't investigate it either because we didn't have enough time to, because we had to get back to the Abbey.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna pick one, that's the one I would have picked too. But
Let's see here what Amanda said. I'm sad the Masonic Temple was fortunate enough to investigate, decided to shut its doors to investigation. Oh, again, it's always a sad thing when some of these locations have to close down. And like, I understand if it has something to do with the money situation or anything like that, but at the same time, though, it's like if they're making good money off of it, there should be no reason for it to be shutting down.
and Nicole, it was just Dennis's real birthday.
I know it was.
Oh,
His real birthday, though.
I
Not every day birthday.
To Dennis, every day is his birthday, but yes, his actual birthday.
Yeah.
Was
today?
instantly.
No, it was like a week ago, I think.
I think so.
Not quite. Yeah.
I messaged
Oh,
him.
So,
He hasn't been doing great, so
No.
I'm sorry
yeah,
about
I I've recently heard a thing or two that he hasn't been good. So I hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been
well, he has
walking some.
the what is it? Pulmonary fibrosis
Yes, Theo. Yeah.
that
Pulmonary fibrosis. Yeah.
almost 15 years ago they gave him a sentence of like you'll be gone in like a year or 2 years,
Oh,
and it's been 15. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I know what
man.
you're
Well,
talking about.
he gives me hope every day that I'll keep living.
oh, I
So
know. I'll have to call Batch and see how he's doing,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or I'll just
Texted
show
him
up to
the other
Batch's
day.
house because I know I know where you live.
Mhm.
There you go.
Dennis's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the son.
You know,
Yeah.
It's a hat. It's a hat, Kate. It's a hat.
And yes, Tom, I did get Nick's Valentine card. Thank you very much.
oh yeah, yeah, Valentine. Actually, I have some right near me, but I don't want to show them on camera because I don't want to spoil the surprise if she's watching. Because as some of you guys know, I am seeing someone. So, um, yeah,
Oh.
which I'm going to be seeing again this upcoming Valentine's Day. So we are excited. I don't have to say this. I mean, I don't have to hide this because she already knows. But we actually have a lovely dinner that I already made a reservation for on Valentine's Day or on the evening. So it should be a really fun, exciting night.
And don't forget, you're paying for all of it. Don't split the
Yes,
check.
yes, I am. Yep, I already know that already.
And don't be like Nick.
Yeah, I'm already ahead of you. Let's see what it's gonna be. It's because they had a spirit claiming it's the devil, and the owners believed it. They shut the doors because each legit paranormal team said they even think it's a demon. Had a lot of activity though, several active spirits.
Okay.
So off that, I got a question. Does anybody like charge when you investigate
No.
No.
a house for a person?
No. We're non-profit.
Yeah. Okay. I was
We don't-
watching a thing one day, and somebody was charging 150 an hour,
Jeez.
and I was like, I would never pay you 150 to do that.
No way. That seems kind of a ripoff.
Yeah, we don't charge for
The,
non-profit.
the only charging
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I do is charging straight into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with us. We've always said the same thing with our crew is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we never charge. Like
No.
it's one thing like
Yeah.
when you're at a residential location and
Yeah.
the owners insist, like even when you say no, that's not necessary, they'll be like, no, take it. It's fine with me. It's also another thing too, like if they're willing to also, even when you're, I mean, not necessarily that you have to ask, but it's also another thing too, though, if they want to help pay for gifts, like if you're traveling a very long distance to it, just to help them out and a team out.
Right.
It's another thing, however, though, when they're actually wanting to make money off of this.
Yeah, we
Different.
Ours
Yeah.
is big no. No.
Yeah.
We're non-profit. We don't take money from anyone.
Oh, Kate said this to Nikki about
Yeah.
Vera.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's back at school now, so loving life. So for people that don't know, my child has special needs, and unfortunately, she had to have surgery on Monday, and they removed a few of her teeth. So, but she's
Oh,
at school, loving life, doing her thing. So yeah, I'll definitely show her this and tell her that she's loved. So, hey Gary.
Yeah, it's Gary,
We
but
love
he
this.
looks like he's having connection problems. Now, she's
Yeah.
not. I wanted to ask. She's not still in pain, is she?
Not that I know of. Nah, she's doing well. She has to eat a lot of soft food and stuff like that. So
There. Sorry, guys.
Mashed up
no, you're
bananas,
right.
puddings.
I was touching my mouse.
I'm sure you were. Isn't
yeah,
that what?
I'll
Isn't that
admit
what
that.
Adrian? Isn't that what Adrian was saying not to do, Nick?
thanks,
I
Amanda.
said, I'll admit to touching my mouse, unlike Nick.
Yeah, it looks like Gary's having some connection issues, but I can tell he's trying.
Yeah,
Gary.
we'll keep trying.
Hello, Cole. Good to see you.
Hey, cool. Were
Hey,
you asking
Cole.
me a question, Nikki, before I
Yeah,
got
go
That
going?
for
Cole,
it.
that Cole
Oh,
is
there we go.
one of the guys off of the other station that I'm part of every week.
Oh, hi, Gary.
He's
Oh,
on
yeah.
he's
Testing.
on S4 Paranormal Bunker.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Testes, Gary.
Testes.
Yes, testing.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Hey, Gary.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Got a few things going on, but I thought I'd pop in for a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you,
Exactly,
appreciate
Cole.
it. So I'm going to quickly introduce Gary. So Gary is a paranormal investigator. He also does his own podcast, radio shows, and he is based in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Gary.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit low key at the moment, just a webcam because all my good stuff. The studio is half getting redone, so you shouldn't really be looking at that bit up there.
So
Real
We'll
quick,
avert our gaze.
there
what
is
about the
no
limo,
limo. There is no limo.
no, we don't.
Oh,
No, we don't provide limos. Um, so yeah, I'm going to quickly introduce Gary. Gary Nick is from Chicago. He runs things in
Hello.
his network.
When the camera works again.
Whoa, that went.
Oh, geez, what the hell was that?
That's right. Rob also is one of my co-hosts. Chris is a co-host from the US, and Nicole is a lovely guest.
What do you want?
I think he's paused.
How's Mike doing,
Yes.
Nicole?
Better than he was Tuesday night.
Uh-oh. Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, very. He decided to have an absent seizure on me.
Oh,
Exactly.
911 called and everything.
Oh, God, yep. Hey, it's almost been a year for me.
Yeah,
Almost exactly.
we just don't know what caused it.
Yeah, damn. That sucks.
Real quick, just catching up on the comments. Amanda said she makes a good point. You shouldn't charge. You can't guarantee results. Back when
Right.
she started,
Right.
it was an unwritten rule to not charge.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't charge. We're non-profit.
Want to say hi?
It's like, I mean, pick some Dick Van Dyke, okay? I don't know what that's got to do with anything. Let's see what else. You've always said if a team charges, they were there for themselves, not you. Very true.
Right.
Very true.
The only charge I can see
Yeah.
is for gas, like you said, Nick. Maybe if you're like traveling like 8 hours
Yeah,
or something.
If
I
you
gotta have-
actually want to help out, like with the crew, saying, you know, hey, we could help you guys out, but it's going to be kind of a long distance for us. You know, that's just you're just assisting them. It's not actually that they want to get money just to be rich. It's just that you might need help along the way.
and you
So-
can't guarantee, like Amanda said. So.
Yeah, exactly. And
this will be-
Kate also asked, does Gary know how insane we are? Is he sure he wants to be associated with us?
Definitely. I mean, Nick's the worst of the bunch. So
Yeah. I know.
Innocent here.
Innocent. The S is not silent. Citizen.
Yeah, it is. It is.
like Illinois.
That's it. Go lay down.
Yeah, I think Gary's having some technical issues, but
Movies.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah, he's
is.
been
Cockroaches.
Yeah, well, Cole, I'll introduce you as well. Nick's from up in Chicago. Nikki, this is the Nikki I was talking about. She's over in Perth and 2 states away. 3 states. No? Yeah, 3 states away. I have no idea who Nicole is, but she's in the.
He's from the same state I
Sorry
am.
about that.
That's fine.
Chris is just a state of mental confusion.
There, I'll say it. Wee. Nicole's from Denver, Colorado. Right?
Yeah, Denver, Colorado area.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Hey, he's back.
Oh, he's back. He's no longer got the black screen on, or whatever it is.
Can you hear me?
it's all good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
now.
All good. All good.
I've got no idea what's happening, what microphone. I've just got a different camera.
Uh-huh.
No, you're all good,
Hey,
Gary.
microphone.
It must be a connection issue.
Yeah, as a few
Yeah,
people have joined us live,
It's Nick.
I'm just going to do my
Don't worry
little
about it.
spiel. Think. Just a friendly reminder, once again, bullying harassment in the paranormal field will never be tolerated on behalf of my team. Also, please be respectful of locations. Do not trespass. One, it's unsafe. Two, you don't know who you could walk into. And three, it's just being disrespectful at the end of the day. This is not having a go at anyone that has done it. Just be a little bit respectful, please. And that's all I have to say on that matter. Enjoy the show, guys.
Well, I'm actually just going to kind of just throw into that, just throw in one thing about that too, is that people always say, like, when it comes to ghost hunting, that people are always in for wanting to get in for a scare or something like that. There are times that sometimes I'm like, listen, man, there's more scarier stuff than just having to worry about, actual paranormal activity. Because sometimes, and when I mean scary, I mean it could get very dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it really can't get scary when you're going out to these places because you don't know what you're walking into.
Right.
And
Hey, Denise,
right.
here. Hey, Denise, good to see you. It's a new viewer, at least for me. Paracolt. Well,
Jason from Paracol. So
don't know him,
Paracol is another team. So Paracol is another team over here in Western Australia. He is currently in Adelaide.
Oh, cool.
oh,
So
okay.
shout out to Jason. Hayden, sorry. So, yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
be respectful.
So I know we were
Next-
talking about this on the previous show. I just wanted to also bring this up once again, in case any of you guys are interested. But next Sunday, the 22nd, we have a very special event that's going to be happening on Things Network, which I keep forgetting the actual name, but I know it's one of those names is Project 22, which is a 22-hour event in which it's supposed to kind of give kind of like awareness for veterans and whatnot. Yeah, that's right,
Because,
Denise. It is the second time you've seen me tonight because I also do help co-host this show too. So,
yeah,
but
because
anyways,
22 soldiers die each day, apparently, so they're trying to bring awareness to that.
exactly. So, such things like that, for our veteran and not just, military wise, it's also
Right.
for like EMTs, for police
Mhm.
officers, anybody you can think of that have served a very important role. And also, in addition to, it's also not just restricted just to the United States. It is also a worldwide event. So in the case like with Nikki, Robert, and Gary, this can also represent Australia. Um, it's open for anybody. So I don't know exactly what time Zach was going to get started with it, but it is going to start on Sunday. I am planning on doing a special, very brief comeback with Nick Files, which, unlike most shows,
Go to bed.
this one is actually going to, like I said, this one's actually going to be pre-recorded. So in case any of you guys watch it, if you guys think I'm
Right.
not ignoring comments, it's just a pre-recorded show because I have that Paracon the very same day. So, anybody wants to take part and wants to be part of it, you're very welcome
So
to join.
he can't be in two places at once.
Exactly, yeah. So,
Right. He's got to be a
good night, Tom.
Minecraft.
Or can he? Dun, dun, dun.
Good night, Tom. Have a good night.
Good night, Tom.
Good night,
So,
Tom.
And very
yeah,
true, Cole.
Smells good.
He says
yeah,
sometimes
Nikki, it
the
sounded like to me you wanted to take part of it too. About for the 22-hour event. Oh yeah.
I was like, who are you talking to? There's four other people. Yes, and we're trying to get involved and stuff because, yeah, we've had a lot of vets and stuff and people.
The Ditto House keeps repeating itself, though.
Go to bed.
You will eventually get there, I promise.
I had a feeling she was going to say that. Let me see.
Who is it, by the way?
Oh, you know what? Okay, so I have heard of the Ditto House, which I definitely need to. It's funny you mentioned that. In fact, because I literally have an entire list of potential
Charge your phone, Nick.
cover on Nick Files. So Denise, I'll definitely write that one down too for a future episode. So thank you for the suggestion. And Gary is back.
Remember, do your own research.
It's right. It's all good. We always have internet issues around Australia at the moment. Gotta love Telstra. But anyway, what else? Gary, do you have anything coming up, mate?
Hang on, I've just got an urgent call I've got to take. I'll be there in a sec.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. All good. You can
Yeah, take your time.
leave. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, he's got a family member at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He said he may jump on, may have to leave and come back, which is totally fine. Because at the end of the day, family always comes first. So,
Exactly.
And health.
So is Mike okay then, Nicole?
He's okay now. We
Awesome.
we
Good.
don't know exactly what caused it, but
Right. No, I get that.
He's not diabetic, is he?
no
No.
Okay.
I didn't think he was, unless that's something
no
new.
history of seizures, no history of.
Sorry
I
about that.
mean, he's got back
Yeah,
issues and other issues from being in the Navy, but other than that,
Oh, he's in the Navy?
he was
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
If you don't mind me asking, how long was he in the Navy for?
4 years.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
service.
Yeah,
Great
thank
guy.
and that's another thing too, is the person that I'm seeing, she herself is in the military. So when she brought that up to me, that was exactly the first thing I said was, thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
So, and I also did tell her about the 22 Project 22 as well. So she is probably going to be watching some of that for next Sunday.
You better be on your best
Oh,
behavior,
awesome.
Nick.
Nick
Yeah.
behaved.
I know Nicole. Well,
No,
tell
he's okay.
Mike get better from me.
Yeah.
Nikki,
same
can
here.
you hold down the fort for me
Yeah.
for just a minute? I'll be right back. I got to grab something.
All good.
You don't need to
Do what
know.
you need to do, Nick.
Goodbye.
He's using the bathroom if everyone needs to know.
Say hi.
That's what he's got to hold on to.
You want to say
Hi.
hi? You're harassing me.
Hi, cutie.
That's
Hi,
Tank.
cutie.
Aw.
He keeps
No.
coming up and bumping my arm, like, pet me, love me.
Pay attention to me.
Uh-huh.
Yep, I knew
Yeah.
that.
How long have you had him?
He is almost 6. So,
Oh, cool.
and I got him at like 8 or 9 weeks old.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Have you,
My old man
have
is
you tried
laying down
ghost
next
hunting
to me.
with
So.
him?
Ow.
Have you ever tried ghost hunting with him?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. This
No,
one,
mm-mm.
this one is scared of his own shadow, let alone
Okay.
going. Yeah.
All
I've
good.
got a friend in America who actually trained his dog to.
That one would be good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah,
Yep,
just
down.
I've got a friend in America who actually trained his dog to pick up on EMF.
I
Whoa.
believe it.
Oh, wow.
So the dog would let him know if there was an EM field around. It's interesting stuff.
You're
Oh,
fine.
That's really cool.
I know a mutual friend of ours, Nicole JK. He took his dogs a couple times.
Yeah. I was there one time, at least one time.
So cool.
And talking about animals in the paranormal field, what do you think about that? Because I notice whenever we're investigating, we always get magpies. For some strange reason, there's always a magpie. And I know with certain cultures, animals are very spiritual and stuff like that. Because I know, how do you guys feel about animals in the paranormal field and using them or?
Well, I've actually seen crows do that sort of thing too, and several other animals around here. Like as I was saying before on the Minecraft chat thing, there was a kookaburra out there just a little bit earlier sounding off. So they usually pick up on stuff as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
Hey Nikki, this is the
Hey,
other
Nikki.
Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
That's the Nikki I keep talking about.
Oh, another Nikki.
Oh, this is going to be a very confusing show. It's three
When
Nickies.
you have more than one person with the same name, it does get confusing.
Well, look, you got
That's all
Nick,
right. Just
Nicole,
put
and
a collar
Nikki.
for
Well,
short.
unless you want to die, don't call me Nikki.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorite nicknames.
Well,
Yeah. And don't
I
call me
will.
I
Nicole.
don't I don't discount those who use it, obviously. It's like
Yeah.
whatever you like is fine. Not me.
That's not you. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told you. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but when I was very young, I
Yeah.
used to be
2 years
called. I
ago.
used to be called Nicky too. That's Nicky, not Nikki, obviously.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that was my name for the longest time until I was about 13 years old because I
Then he
thought,
got
you know what, I don't really need that. It just sounds too childish. So I took the Y out,
Right.
and it just sounded more mature. Although some of my childhood friends still refer me to the old-fashioned names, so
Mm-hmm.
I thought, they grew up with me. They want to still call me by old. That's
Nick.
fine. That's what they know of.
Yeah.
There's few people that
Mm-hmm.
get away with calling me Nikki. And it's very, very few. Less than a handful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
That
Kate
was
just
me. Whenever I'm in trouble, people are like Nicola. And I'm like, what? Because my birth name's Nicola. And yeah, only my parents would use it, or if I'm in trouble and I'm just like, what now have I done? And they're like, Nicola, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, it's Nikki, thank you.
Now, Kate just said her cat doesn't sleep at night. She guards us at the end of our bed, the whole family. She sleeps during the day. I definitely think she senses stuff, which is that's not unusual for when it comes to animals.
Mhm.
So
Cats.
yeah, in her case, must be. I'm not surprised by that. Nikki Jacobs said, "That's how I'm about Nicole." We got
I
a
said everyone
question.
has their thing. I don't, I don't
Yeah,
like for me.
that's right. All good. All good.
Now we got a question here also from Kate, and this is in this case representing Gary. Where does Gary investigate? Like, what's his background? So, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Gary.
Well, it's a big, long story for me. I actually uh, saw something when I was about 7 years old, which got me interested in the strange and the unusual. So I started researching it as a kid, and I got some very weird looks at that age. And I got my mum to take me down to the local library, and I said, "Where are the books on flying saucers?" And the looks that I got were absolutely ridiculous. But all they could give me was an actual encyclopedia of the unexplained. And of course, as soon as you go through that, it's human combustion, ghosts, spirits. And I actually grew up in the northeast of England. The town that I grew up in was around in the year 700 AD.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
the history, the locations, my mum and dad were going to buy a house that was built in the 1600s, very haunted. And I've been investigating now for close to 50 years. So,
Wow.
Older than
yeah,
me.
wow.
my main area at the moment is Western Australia, but wherever I go, I'm looking at local areas as well.
Nikki.
I think the freakiest place I've investigated is the old Changi Hospital in Singapore. So
Oh,
that place
wow.
Mhm.
that place is nuts. It's been redeveloped now. Part of it's been redeveloped and it's a hotel. And I tried to question the guys when I was there last, and they were saying there was some weird shit that was happening, and they've had several priests go through blessing the place. But yeah, I've been investigating for a long time. I started out doing my own thing, and then I got involved with a local team here probably 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And coming in as an individual, I had more gear with me than the entire team had, so they just kept taking all my stuff and disappearing and leaving me with the bloody just EMF meter. And I was like, yeah, this shit's got knobs on it. So sorry if I'm not allowed to swear or not.
It's all right. It's all good.
And I ended up probably 15, actually about 17 years ago now, starting my own team up.
Yep.
And, the politics about starting teams up and how they
Yeah.
work is
Yeah.
it's a good hour or two
Nightmare.
conversation right up
Yeah.
front. But
Yeah.
basically, we were approached about joining a TV show in the United States, and the team suddenly started seeing dollar signs, and then it all became about money. And I said,
Yeah.
that's not what we're
No.
about. So we sort of separated, and they sort of kicked me out of the group that I started because I was stupid enough to give them admin rights.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I ended up just going out doing my own thing, and I've been doing a lot of residential cases. People know me; they get in contact with me, and I'll go out and do residential cases and things like that. But
Right.
probably 6 years ago, I decided, you know what, the guys that shafted me and took the control of the group actually ran it into the ground, and it was gone. So I took ownership of it again, and
Good.
in a rebuilding phase. But I'm not actually out actively chasing people. You know, people find us organically, and go from there. So yeah, the reason why I started the group was obviously to get answers for some of the things that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of things over the years. But
Yep.
basically, I wanted to let people who have issues know that there are people you can talk to who won't laugh at you and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as Nikki knows, my group, West Australian Paranormal Researchers, we've been on TV, we've been on radio, we've done all of that, and we're just out there trying to lift the
Spread the word.
profile. The genuine groups. There's a lot of charlatan groups out there, and I'm not going to name names or anything, but there's a lot of people out there for their 2 minutes of fame. You don't see us blasting around. We get approached about things, and we decide on a case to case thing if we're going to actually be involved. But yeah, I just do my own thing, and unlike a lot of groups that will focus purely on either UFO research or paranormal research or cryptid research, we do the whole lot. So we do our Skywatch nights, our CE5 nights. We do public ghost hunts where we will bring members of the public out, put them in a creepy place, give them a few bits of gear, and see how they go and see if they get a feel for it and they really enjoy it. And it will be a good way of explaining to them what is rubbish on TV shows and what's the real deal. So, yeah, that's basically in a nutshell.
Yeah, like 4 questions from Nick or from Kate over there.
Sorry?
Gary, you have like 4 questions from Kate total over there.
Yeah, she's got quite the amount. Okay, so yeah, she's got quite the amount of questions. Let me go back to those. I'm just catching up with everything now. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I do have many nicknames.
Not that one though.
Okay, got called in by my legal name of the call. That person will get in trouble with me. Okay, so Kate is asking the first question we have here. Where in England? Because truth be told, Kate is British herself. She is from the UK, although she also now lives in the Chicago area. She's from the southeast, so she was wondering where.
I'm from the northeast. Yeah, I'm from North Yorkshire.
Okay,
Viking country.
Good to see you here. Through Denise about doing Nick files. Yeah, I definitely will. Let's see what else. I think we got. Okay, another question here from Kate. So, what do you think a ghost spirit actually is? How would you define the paranormal?
Ghosts and spirits can be several different things. There's no one answer for any particular case. I've dealt with cases where I feel that we're getting very close to almost what you would call a parallel universe or multiverse thing, however you want to look at it. We've had actual conversations with spirits who believe it was at the time. It was about 2015 here when this happened. And they were telling us that they were seeing us as spirit, and it was 1919. So that was very interesting for that location. But I've had other cases where obviously you'll get a residual type haunting, which to me is just like a recording of a moment in time, which seems to be diminishing now. You don't get that many cases of residual hauntings, and I've got my theories on that, and they do have the scientific backing to it. But then you have your intelligent hauntings, which, again, there are a number of different theories that will fit any one case, and no one's an expert, so we all have our own theories, and it's just a matter of trying to get a bit of validation to any particular one. But in a short, there's no one answer for the paranormal. There's a number of different things.
Exactly. No one's an expert. We learn every day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
That whole idea of the so-called paranormal expert, that just doesn't exist. Nobody, no matter how knowledgeable you are, there's just no, or experience of you are, there's just nobody out there that's an actual um,
No,
expert in it. And
no,
also,
know it all.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
no one knows
To call
everything.
yourself an expert, you have to have something that you can validate and you can teach and you can put into a whole process. And we just
Yeah.
simply don't have that. Now, while you're talking
Right.
about that, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to go into anything, but I
So
did have a bloke that joined my team and he wanted to learn everything and he came fresh into it after watching a few of the shows and stuff like that. And he ended up jumping ship, tried to get a lot of my members to leave and make a team up with him. I'm not
John
going to go
Pierce.
into
Yeah.
team names or anything like that because that's not what this is about. But he
right.
ended up doing
right.
a talk. He ended up doing a talk not long ago on a panel, and he was introduced as a paranormal expert. Right,
Oh,
a
geez.
paranormal expert. He has less than 2 years' experience complete from
Right.
Geez.
start to where he is now. So the
Wow.
use of the word expert can be a little offensive, especially when it's in a situation like that.
An
Experience
ex,
is completely different to an expert.
an exit
Right.
has been and a spurt to drip under pressure.
Exactly. You see, I'm just going to say this right now, but if ever given a chance, like, because I haven't really, well, maybe with one exception, I haven't
Yes.
really been on like like any of the actual paranormal shows like you see on television, aside from a brief interview where I was interviewed by a news station up in Michigan at one of the
I saw that.
conventions. Yeah, that which it was amazing, but I don't brag about it saying, "Oh, I was on, television." I just saw it honestly as nothing more than just like any other interview, like what we do here with these podcasts.
Right.
That's just how I see it. And you know, obviously, I mean, thankfully, they didn't do this when I was on the show, but I can tell you right now that if if I was ever on any of any show, particularly like whatever it is, and they call me a paranormal expert for it, I could already guarantee you would probably just see me roll my eyes like,
Or you
really?
do, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sign of my
Yeah.
reaction of disapproval, because first off, I'm not encouraging it, but secondly, like, if that's the producer's choice, then I'm going to be more than annoyed than anything. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on
You're
the
not going
same.
to claim that title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Big
I'm
cut
on
and
the same
paste.
page as everybody else. There's just no expert on it.
Mm.
And
No.
when you think about it too, even without the, like you said, Gary, that we have these different theories. Suggestions within this paranormal field will always be explained. Will always be discussed on numerous occasions, and there will always be both agreements and disagreements, regardless.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Most definitely.
I think
But
we had.
I just had, sorry, Nick.
Let's see what else. Okay, so Kate had. This is question number 4. She's full of a lot of questions.
4 or 6.
That's
Yeah.
right. Go for it, Kate.
Asking, I guess 2 questions, in fact. What happens when you do
Yes.
residential stuff, and like, what do you cleanse the house after, etc.?
All right. So
Is
I
that for
don't.
Gary or
Go.
Is that for everybody or for me?
I think it's mainly for you, Gary. But Nick, if you want to answer afterwards, you can.
yeah? Go for it,
Okay.
Gary. All good.
All right. So yeah, with the residential case, when I get contacted about those, I started out early, jumping straight in, like a lot of investigators would if they got a case like that. But I've learned very quickly in the piece that a lot of the cases are from people who've watched a lot of the shows, and they just go, "I want the team to come around and do a big ass investigation, and
Yeah.
we want to watch it. Just a bit of a show. They'll be there with their popcorn, watching you run around with the meters and stuff." So for me, my process is I will go through several conversations with them in text to start off with. Then I'll go through a couple of phone interviews. And I did have a parapsychologist who wrote me up a complete list of questions. And basically, what they are doing is there'll be so many questions, and then it's the same questions again, but they're phrased a little bit differently. And if you start getting different answers to those same questions, you can start to realize that they're just one of these guys after a show. So I do vet people fairly thoroughly before I will go out. And then the first step I will do is I will meet them and I will do a quick sort of low key, just run around to see if I can find any possible reason for the activity. I will find out again what kind of activity it is because I have a background in construction. So I'll go through everything and I will wipe out every possible generic, everyday reason
Yep.
for these things that
Debunk,
they're saying
debunk
is
the myth.
paranormal
Yep.
before I even
Exactly.
start breaking out a lot of the gear. But
Good.
ultimately, it will come down to bringing a few of the team members. Obviously, being a residential case, you can't take a full team in because you'll fill every room in the house. You just take a couple of people. So you get a better measure of the activity and the energy that's going on. And I do have a lot of people that I've helped out throughout the years who are there to help me out as well, who will come in and help me with the clearing side of things. You know,
Sure.
my job is to ascertain whether there is an actual paranormal cause or whether there's a
Present.
natural cause. And quite often,
Right.
I can satisfy things at that point. There have been times when we've actually been able to identify a specific spirit, which has actually made the family fond of what they've heard because it's a family member.
Yeah.
And from then on, they're happy to accept what's going on because it was nothing much, but it was frightening what was going on. And once
Yeah.
there was an understanding there, they were happy with it. But when we go to cleansings and things like that, I have people that come and help me out with that kind of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
more identify and come up with a strategic plan of action, and then I have people that will help me out with a lot of the cleansing side of things. And I used to have Father Barry May on call as well. I've actually witnessed 3 exorcisms myself. I've actually been involved in 3 exorcisms, documenting them for him. So I've seen the really dark end of an oppressive entity, and I've seen the lighter side of the little jokesters and things like that. And I've seen a hell of a lot of pranks and just
Yeah.
straight out fakery.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I could share basically part of that with you too, Gary, because to be perfectly honest with you, and pretty much everybody knows about this already. I've actually I didn't take part in it. I was just more of a witness to it, but I actually have witnessed an exorcism myself almost 10 years ago, which unfortunately, unlike your case though, um, the guys who were running it was originally supposed to be just a house blessing, but somehow it became an exorcism and none of us were authorized to be doing that. So I already knew from the very start we were this was going way too far for us. Not to mention how dangerous it was becoming.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was because we were in the heat of the moment, if that makes any sense, there was nothing I or anybody else could do to kind of stop this. Once you're kind of in that situation, you basically can't stop until it ends. But either way, I've kind of gone through a similar ordeal like what you've gone through, just unfortunately not with the right individuals.
Mm. Well, with Father Barry May, we would have him on call for any cases that we were investigating that we thought we would need him for. So he's helped us out with cases as well. But because of that mutual respect for each other, he obviously
Yeah.
deals with cases that come to him through the church, which we weren't involved in the investigation process. It was purely through the church. But he knew I had the equipment to record some of these. So I'd set up an array of cameras, full spectrum cameras, infrared cameras, high definition
Mm-hmm.
cameras, things like that. And my role then was not to actively take part in it. I was just to be in the corner with the cameras recording. And one of the things he did say is, whatever you do, just don't make eye contact. You can look through the cameras, but if they look at the camera, just look away. And once it was finished, I just transferred everything over to a medium that he could take and go with from there. So I was strictly in a bystander type role and a recording role with the exorcisms. I didn't have any kind of active
Very smart.
part in those.
Right, right.
But I have
Um,
seen some weird stuff. I've seen unreal shows of strength. I've seen what I like to call the triple voice thing actually happen, where it sounds like 3 voices are coming out of the one voice box,
mhm.
Yeah.
and that spins you out. And I've seen a 50 kilo lady that was oppressed actually basically overpower about 4 guys that were all sort of 100 kilo plus, and that was just
Yeah.
nuts,
Oh,
absolutely
I'm
nuts.
sure. Wow, that's crazy. Um,
Didn't see any head spinning or projectile vomit.
right,
So,
right, yeah. That's I'm just gonna throw that out too. Is that, contrary to like popular belief, like what some people would think when it comes to like an exorcism, is they would immediately think of the movie The
Yeah.
Exorcist itself. You know, the yellow eyes, the head turning, the vomiting and stuff. Well, and obviously, again, learning from experience for myself, none of that ever happened during my case with The Exorcist. In fact, the only thing that really was very that ever came close to like what you see in the movies is the eyes roll up whites, the voice, you know, their eyes might they don't turn yellow, but they might have a black tint to them in some way, and also
I've yeah,
yeah,
I've
and
seen the irises go very big, so the eyes appear almost black.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
Oh,
that,
Riley.
and I can't describe it, but you know how her face mutated into the demon face in the film. The face does come across looking different. It's still them, but there's just something
Yeah.
off. There's just something different about it, but it's
Yeah.
not like what you see movie makeup do or anything like that. It's just they still look human. They're just not quite right, and I can't define it, but it's very weird.
exactly, yeah. I mean, if anything, and the only other thing I can recall too is, again, even The Exorcist doesn't do the like do it fully. You do hear a partial different sound in the voice, but not like a whole complete like you would again like you would see in the
Right.
films. But you would hear a different type of tone to their voice that's not that you
Yeah.
could tell is not theirs. That in
Well,
some way,
this is yeah. If you've all seen the footage of the Enfield poltergeist and you've heard the recording of that girl doing the old man voice and things like that,
yep,
that's
Yeah.
one voice. That's what anybody can do that if they want to do it and wreck their vocal cords. But when you actually get three distinct tones come out all at once, it's like three
Yeah.
voices. Have anybody seen the Star Trek, the Borg, how they sort of talk in unison? It's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like that. It's kind
Right,
of like
right.
that, but it's like three tones, and that I don't know how anybody can do that. If they can do it, they've got a specific skill set, which is awesome. But I don't know how to do that.
Right.
Me
I
neither.
don't think anybody would. I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't be able to.
No.
Before we get to the next question, Nikki, you said you had a story of your own, like to answer Nikki's question too, that you wanted to answer.
Kate question.
Oh, which question was it? There's so many.
That was,
So yeah.
oh, it was this question right here, what Kate was asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're pretty much the same. We do sage ourselves, and the people we're investigating with, because a few people we would like to be saged before you come into our house. That's totally fine. And then as we exit, we do the same thing. But we're not here to kind of get rid of spirit. We're here to have a chat and try and get the evidence that they need. There is one case where they were having things moving off poltergeist activity. They were having things moving and stuff like that. While we were there, nothing happened. It was completely, and I was like, you know what? I don't think they actually want to speak to us. I think they just want to have a chat with you. I feel like it's a family orientated spirit that just wants to communicate with you. You don't really have to be afraid. You can tell them to leave, because at the end of the day, this is your home. And they felt very comfortable with that. But also, Gary said, please be mindful doing this, because being a paranormal investigator, it can turn dangerous. So if you're doing the wrong thing, things can happen, and it is actually really dangerous with what we do. So it's just a mindset that, hey, what we can do can actually become dangerous. It's not all rainbows and butterflies and lovey-dovey. It can actually turn demonic. So
Well, more importantly too, and this is a huge reminder too, regardless of whatever you're contacting with, you also don't want to provoke, because there's a lot of investigators out there that do provoke these entities and stuff. And I mean, I will admit, many years ago, I was one of them. I mean, I didn't do it frequently, but I was one of them. But I have learned, of course, now over the years, never to do that. And it's never good to provoke.
Yeah.
No.
Because at the end of the day, you want to treat them with respect. Like in life, everybody wants to be treated with dignity and respect. And these people, I call them people because that's the way they were once living. You always want to treat them with respect. No matter what they did in their past, majority of them are pretty respectful. And if I walk into someone's house and I'm like, you do this, I'm going to turn and be like, you know what, I'm not going to do shit for you because you're being disrespectful. But if I come in there with an open mind and be respectful, you're going to get more activity.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are a couple of occasions where you might think about a little bit of giving them a little bit of stick. Like, for instance, for myself,
Yeah.
Residential cases, never. No. If you're
No.
doing what used to be an old age home or what used to be a
Yeah.
school or those sort of things, no.
Right.
When we
Yeah.
investigate prisons, if you go in all pansy, you get
No.
no
No. No.
respect
No.
from any kind of prisoners. You've got to give them a little bit of stick to get a little bit back, and that's how
Yeah.
it would have worked in real life. But going full
Yeah.
blown, really
Big ass.
firing them up, no,
Make
you
the
don't do
biggest
that
guy.
anyway.
No, kidding.
Yeah. That's what I mean in residential. Yeah. Yeah. We've done a few prisons. We're just like, yeah, we're coming here. My guard's completely up, and you'll hear my tone change. Like, I'll be respectful, but my guard's up, and I'm just like, okay, this is where I'm at. These ones were prisoners. I have to be protective of myself and my team, and my guard will go up. Like the way I'm talking now, my tone will change, and I'll be, hey, if you want to communicate, we've got some equipment. You're welcome to play with them, but X, Y, and Z. So,
Right,
Well,
right.
for instance, I'll tell you one little thing, and Nikki will know about this. My team was the first team that was allowed to actually investigate Fremantle Prison overnight. This was a long time ago.
Ooh.
And they were using it as a bit of a test case, and we did that. And again, a little bit of banter back and forwards, a little bit of argy-bargy, nothing over the top. But one of the things that a lot of teams tend not to worry about these days are trigger objects. One of my team
right,
members, his ancestor, his grandfather or somebody like that, actually worked in Fremantle Prison, and
Oh,
we had an
wow.
original set of keys, and he just started
Oh, wow.
shaking them. And the activity we got just off hearing that jingle of those keys was more than any kind of provocation would bring up. It was
right,
ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah. We use
That's
props.
that's really interesting when you have somebody that has a connection to that location, like whether it was an ancestor or something. Like, it gives that kind of, because sometimes you sometimes hear that even just a normal, like even just an investigator like ourselves can be a trigger object, but it really is a tribute. You're really a trigger object if, again, you have some kind of past, like or even if you didn't have it yourself, if you had a family member or a relative or even a friend who had some connection to that location, that would definitely trigger something for whatever could be haunting in those buildings.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you one other little thing? This same member whose ancestor worked
Mm-hmm.
at the prison, one of his other relations was Bon Scott, the original lead singer for AC/DC.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
And
Check that out.
we were actually down at Fremantle Cemetery. We weren't at the actual grave. We were just at the little plaque in the ground. Anybody that's in Perth
Yeah,
knows
yeah,
where
yeah,
that
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I do.
and we were there, and we were talking. There's a lot of people that go there. Automatically, you go to Fremantle Prison, you've got to go to Bon Scott's grave or one of the other famous ones around.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they started talking about the uncles and aunties. These are family members that we don't know. And we were
Good.
getting responses coming through the spirit box. We were getting EMF
Yeah,
hits because
so
we
Nick,
use several different EMF meters. We asked the question, which is your favorite of the AC/DC songs, right? And without a doubt, we were all sat there. His phone that was in his pocket started playing Long Way to the Top out loud on speaker. And that was just, we actually have it all on video, so we can
Nice.
prove there was no
Oh wow.
fiddling around, there was no messing around. It was just priceless. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
either one of the biggest flukes in mankind, or there was actually something to it. And based on my history, I know there is something to it. I couldn't tell you what that something is, but there is definitely something out there, and there is something beyond when our life ceases.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool either way. I mean, it's always fascinating when you get some of the best, like some of the most spectacular evidence out there. So that's
Yeah.
that's awesome either way. Hey Joe, how you doing?
Hey,
Joe.
you should have called me.
Yeah, I didn't think you were still up. So no,
Oh yeah, I'm a night
my
owl.
always open for you.
You know, I'm a
He's a
night owl.
vampire.
You gotta realize something. You know, for many years, and I told you this before, Nick. For many years, I worked third shift. Okay,
Yeah.
and I never worked a first shift job, so I'm not a morning person. I'm a night owl,
Hmm.
and I get insomnia often. But when you work third shift, I was at work third shift in like places like Railvac after all the employees went home.
Right,
I had
right.
to do I had to do rounds on these buildings. Nobody there but me and the bats, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, of
Yeah.
course.
There was I worked at I was head of security, an on-site supervisor at Railvac. Okay, but it wasn't like the corporate headquarters. It was the packaging plant. They made the double A and triple A batteries there, and
The
so a lot
explosion.
of the yard was open, wide open. So you get a lot of critters walking around in those barns at night.
Jeez.
And this one alleyway that was probably about a couple 100 feet long was full of bats. I mean, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands, of bats.
Oh, man.
And I had to go down
Yeah.
to the middle of that alleyway every hour on the hour because it was one of those key things. So I had to make rounds every hour.
Right, right.
You want to hear a funny story? This happened to me when I was there. This is a funny story. I don't tell this, but I don't care. I'm an old man now, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I was real creeped out. Kind of, it was real quiet. Which was unusual for that place because you had all these, you had possums, squirrels, you had everything just wandering around in those barns and stuff. And I got to the one of the far backs of the farthest building in the back of the plant, and it was one of the darkest. And I'm walking along, and I'm just kind of like, I got, you got one of those songs stuck in your head. And
Yep.
I couldn't get it because at my desk, where I would normally sit at the front, there was a radio. So I had a song stuck in my head. And next thing you know, I'm walking along. And like I said, it was really quiet. And a squirrel out of nowhere jumped from the top of the rafters and caught me on my back
Oh,
with his
jeez.
claws.
Yeah.
I screamed like a woman that night.
Wow.
Oh,
I think I
yeah.
had to check my pants too to make sure I didn't piss myself.
Very good.
That quite the story. Just going back quick. Just got it because comments are really starting to come up.
Yeah.
Real quick, Gary. Uh, Kate said this. She said, "Well, be part of the country where you were from in the UK." She's from Norwich.
Yeah, I'm from just between Stockton and Middlesbrough, a little town called Thornaby-on-Tees. So,
Okay.
yeah. I used to talk funny once upon a time.
Okay, so I thought that secondary question she asked was the fifth, but apparently this is question number 5. She's asked, so your theory is more connected to time loops, crossovers, alternate dimensions, and wormholes?
Some of them, not all of them. No, some of them are definitely what you would consider a paranormal or a haunting type theory, but there are some situations where you are talking time glitches or alternate realities, however you want to phrase that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of different ones, and I'm not going to put all my eggs in the one basket because there are so many that point to a specific thing, and you could almost rule out some of the others. So you've got to take them on a case by case basis.
Right. And
Yeah.
the last question, because she says at the end, "That's all my questions." She likes you though. I can tell you that right now. But her last
Yeah.
question she asked for you is, who would you say inspires or inspired you in this field?
Sorry, what was that?
Kate's last question that she had was, who would you say inspired you in this field?
No one. It's just it's my own journey. I've started. I'm doing my own things. I come across people. Uh, you make connections along the way. You know, I have connections to the Warren family. I have connections to a lot of the different TV shows that are out there. A lot of names that you would know, like Barry Fitzgerald, Rob
I love
Demarest.
Barry.
There's a lot of other, but Barry, he's an absolute cracker. And I don't really have a specific person that I would say is a role model. I have people that I respect the way they do an investigation over others, but
Right.
I
Yes.
still I do my own thing. You know, I don't watch a lot of the TV shows. I'll be honest. I was one of those fools at the start that watched the first couple of seasons of Ghost Adventures and love some of the locations. Love some of the locations. Don't particularly like the people, and certainly don't like the way they investigate. But
I won't
it
watch
was
them.
interesting to see the responses. You know, and
That's because
Yeah.
those TV shows are all about ratings and money.
100%, 100%. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say I have a specific role model. I'm in my own lane, doing my own thing, and if people respect that and want to come on the journey, then that's fine. And if they have other opinions, that's fine as well, because we all have our own opinions, and so long as you can discuss them in a respectful manner, that's 100% how we get places. As soon as people start shitting on other people and stuff like that, that's where things start to break down. So, you know, as Nikki knows, we have a little group where the respected teams here in Western Australia. I'm not going to say any more than that, and I'm not going to say who's it, but we have our own little private group where we can discuss where, you know, this is the heads, you know, team leaders or head investigators from different groups around here. We can discuss potential issues that may be coming up because, as you are all aware, and I'm sure it's worldwide, there's a lot of teams out there that are all in it to get a YouTube video or to do this or to do that. And the way they are doing it, the way they are throwing their shit up there is actually shutting down a lot of these historic locations to a lot of respectable teams. And it's the wrong thing to do. So,
yeah, that was
think-
something we were talking about earlier. Is just the ones that are just doing it just for fame.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad because and if you look on Facebook now, the amount of AI crap that's there.
Oh God, tell me about it. Yeah,
all over the place. And any genuine footage that may be captured is just going to get lost in the ocean of crap.
Yep.
So our job is just continually getting harder and harder. So it's just a matter of sticking to what you know, doing what you know, and hopefully one day the truth will come out.
Hey, Kate.
It is out there. It's just a matter of getting it out there to the right ears.
I'm not Batman. I told you I'm a vampire.
Oh, wait, let's see. I'm just trying to see what. Oh, I see what.
That's Kate, right?
That was Kate.
Batman.
That's Kate, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It took me a minute to realize who that was. I'm like, who is this?
You gotta remember
and I saw the cat. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's Kate. She used to have it as her name, but now she has it.
I have to, Kate. It's that time of year, and Saturday is 16 years. I've been married to my wife, so we got to go out.
And congrats again for that,
So
Jim.
I came out of hibernation. You'll see me tomorrow, too.
Let's see what else here.
And my Friday the 13th lounge pants, brand new.
Awesome.
Just for tomorrow.
And I think this is kind of in response to what you were saying, Gary. But Kate also says regarding vetting people, there are mental health questions you can ask too, right? There is a gray area when it comes to schizophrenia, for example.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Luckily for me, I can't name names, but somebody very close to me works in the mental health field, and we know all about making sure that that's a possibility as well. There's one case ongoing at the moment, which I'm not going to go into too many details, but we actually thought that might have been the case. And in a situation like that, even going in for a preliminary interview, we make sure we wear body cams and everything so that we've got several records of exactly what happens should anything happen. It's not so much about capturing activity; it's about protecting ourselves if any kind of allegations come out there. You know what I mean? Because the biggest issue in the paranormal is the living, not the deceased or the other
Right there.
things that we're looking for.
Absolutely, very true. And I think that's always something important to do too, because that way, not only are you documenting everything that's going on, but also that you have the evidence to show. And I don't mean paranormal evidence, but the evidence to show that this is what's really going on, and this is what we got. So,
well, again, without going into too many details, this specific case that I was just referring to, the police are involved. There have been injuries, there have been hospitalizations, and it's a very serious case. And based on the number of people that are involved in this family, it very eerily runs side by side with a certain DeFeo family.
Oh, yeah.
So it's it's got the potential to go.
You're talking about Ronnie DeFeo?
Yeah, that's the Amityville horror.
Yeah, I know the one that
case
killed his siblings and his parents.
Yeah,
correct.
And then blamed it on several different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually was one of my very first.
Interesting story, though. I liked it.
Yeah, no, it's a good story. It's just that a lot of what you hear is not actually true. And to be perfectly honest, to be perfectly honest with you, Gary, I mean, the Amityville horror, undoubtedly, that was in fact one of the very first haunted house cases I ever studied at a very young age, at around 12 years old. In fact, I studied it around the same time when the 2005 remake came out. And when the remake came out, that's when they also started re-releasing a lot of the, not just the original film, but the sequels that follow. I mean, I know, of course, since the original one, I mean, there's like 30 movies that go by the name of Amityville that have nothing to do with Amityville whatsoever. They're just basically like student-made films, just using the title. But if you want to,
because the original started because of the books and those people after the DeFeos,
Lutz's,
yeah, all about money. They wanted to make money, even for them.
So like obviously since the original one came out back in 1979, there's been like officially like a dozen movies that have been made. I think they're actually trying to make another one already. So. And like an official one, not one of these.
Because it sells.
Yeah, and not one of these rip-off ones that they just use the title for a film that has little to nothing to do with it. So it's really either way, I always found it fascinating.
They've got a sequel for all those movies, even Poltergeist.
Yep.
I mean, that went 3 movies, maybe 4.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, but anytime I watch a movie, I go into it knowing it's fiction and it's not. Even if it says based on reality, I know it's full of crap.
Very loosely based, yeah.
Yeah. So, Kate here says, let's see. I guess, again, this is in response again to you. Again, she's always full of a lot of questions. She says, like, I think this was back to the
full of something.
I'm guessing it's Protestant church. Catholic priests are extremely reluctant to do exorcisms.
Oh, are you talking about Father Barry May? He's Anglican, yeah. He was Anglican, Church of England.
Okay, and just, again, now we got most of the questions out of the way. Just want to get response here. Cole here says their face has an overlay of features. Respect given is respect received. Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Rock on. Okay, so I already covered those ones that Kate had said. Just seeing if there's. Kate said, "Yeah, we know. You were born in 1805, Joe. You're definitely a vampire."
Why not?
I think we're caught up.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah,
finally caught up. Um,
yeah.
I don't really have too much else to really add, at least for not right now. But Nikki, Robert, do you guys have anything you wanted to
I'm
ask?
good. I'm good.
Nicole? Okay, Nicole, Chris, you guys got anything in mind?
No,
No,
just chilling.
Okay.
just chilling.
Just
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, hang on. There is one thing Gary said mentioned before, like with the respect, doing what we do. Unfortunately, there is a lot of teams out there that are being disrespectful, and just it's tough because at the end of the day, it makes our job harder as investigators to get locations because there is some people out there doing the wrong thing, and I'm not going to name who they are, but
Yeah.
just be respectful, please, 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 because it's getting really hard for us to get locations, and it's not about getting locations, but in a way, it kind of is because we're getting told no because X, Y, and Z has gone out to a location, being disrespectful, and then we're getting shut down and being told no. So yeah, please don't trespass. Again, it's unsafe. You don't know what's in the building for starters. There could be asbestos. There is a lot of locations in WA that do actually have asbestos. And it could harm for other people as well. It's not just you that you've got to look at. There is new teams that are coming out there and they're like, okay, this team gets to do this, but why can't I? Well, no, you can't because there's asbestos. You don't know the location. You don't know if there are people in there. You don't know if there's homeless people in there. You don't know if it's unsafe. And it's just plain being
Wild
disrespectful. So
animals.
please
Even
respect.
wild animals you got to worry about too.
And that is not an issue.
Well,
No, I'm not that
And
bad.
police have been called.
the other, I'm just going to throw this out,
Cool.
and I think I've already talked about this before, but I think it's still something that, I mean, I don't think it had anything to do with the paranormal field itself, but still, it's always a likely chance
Yeah.
it could have been the very reason. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to know, but we actually have an old historic prison. It wasn't anywhere close to me. It was actually down in southern Illinois,
Mhm.
which was called Menard. Joe, I've talked to you about it before. Called Menard Correctional Center,
Yes.
which was down in the
Yep.
very, yeah, it's in the southern part of the state, literally right up to the Mississippi River. And starters, Menard Correctional Center is the second oldest operating prison in the state of Illinois, originally constructed back in 1878. It's also the largest maximum security facility in the state. Now, to be to just to let everyone know, the prison is still in operation, but they originally were going to close.
Mhm.
Well, back in 2018, basically 140 years after when the prison was originally built, they were going to close off the administration building because it turned out nobody was using the building anymore. And we thought to ourselves, well, yes, it may still be an active prison, but we were under the impression that they would just fence off the active parts of the prison and maybe open up the administration building as a museum because, truth be told, it was a historic building of historic significance. Like if you look at old pictures of what the administration building looked like, it had literally like it had a statue of the hour. Oh no, excuse me, not the what do you call those? They're like oh my god, it's like what do you call things that way? Oh, a scale.
Oh,
That
the statue that
The judge.
scale.
it was a
Yeah.
scale. Yeah, so they have
The
like a statue of the
Lady Justice.
yeah, like this. It has like a scale of justice.
Yeah.
It had skeleton keys. It even had two stone lions, like on the top of like where the signs were, and people
Yeah.
often said, who passed by the prison, that there
Mhm.
was in fact one person who said that when he looked at the building, one person described it as looking more like an ornate university than a maximum security prison because of just how beautiful it actually looked. But
Mhm.
the reason, honestly, still unknown. We don't know the exact reasons why, but sadly, without even giving an announcement. they just demolished the building.
Right.
They demolished the entire administration building, which there are pictures you can find of the demolition, which
Damn it.
it's heartbreaking to look at because you also have to remember too the time that this prison was built, and this was typical of a lot of prisons that were built prior to the mid 20th century, that a lot of our historic prisons were often built using inmate labor. The inmates themselves built these prisons. And in the case when they had to demolish this one, again, 140 years after it was originally built, it's not only sad to see something go, but it just seemed like it was just such a waste because when you really think about it, again, it's past that yes, this was built by inmates. These were people who were there to be punished, but at the same time, though, they built that prison literally with the sweat of their own two hands. And I can't even imagine the amount of activity that must have flown throughout the administration building because there is no doubt in my mind that even if it's still an active prison, there's definitely a lot of paranormal activity that goes along with it. Not to mention with the Mississippi River across the street from it, acting as a conduit to, like for energy and whatnot. And but I often do question sometimes though, like they really demolish it? I mean, do they really have to demolish it, or do they demolish it because they probably thought paranormal investigators like us would want to go, but be going in for the wrong reason?
Well, I've got
Were
a little
there?
something. I don't know if you want a little bit of a giggle and a little bit of a laugh, but this sort of ties into what Nikki was saying and a little bit about what you were saying there. We have a location out here in the hills, which is an old psychiatric hospital, right? Structurally, it is all still 100% sound. Now, going back to this illegal entry and doing things you shouldn't do, I know somebody who was sneaking in there across 2 electric fences to get there.
Oh, geez.
And
That's dangerous.
crawling through this
Very
tiny
dangerous.
little window to get inside and doing some investigations. Now, he came at me because he thought he'd actually found this, an EVP, which turned out to be just somebody bloody breathing. But a bit later on, I picked something up in my gear and I played it. It's probably the best EVP I've ever heard of in my life. And when he got that, he was stoked. He would go back there all the time, dodging security to get in and all over the place, doing these investigations, cat balls, you name it. Well, I wanted to do the right way. So I did the research, found out who's actually the managers for the building itself, which happens to be one of our local universities. And I approached them about getting legitimate access to do a paranormal investigation. Obviously, being a university, they said no. But while talking to them, they said the reason why we're saying no is it's used every day. Are you all ready? Are you all holding on to your seats?
Oh boy.
By the West, it is run every day by the West Australian Police Force for their forensics teams because they like to go in there teaching them how to do fingerprint analysis and how to capture fingerprints.
Oh, okay.
So these guys that have been sneaking in there have got their grubby little mutts
Fingerprints on
all
file.
over the place, and there's probably already up in all the forensic students learning how to do fingerprinting. Going, we've got one.
The computer system in Australia.
Point being that while you think you might have got away with something, you just never know when it might come back and bite you in the bum.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially when the building's owned by the government. You know,
It's privately owned by a private university, but it's still used for training for government officials.
So, you know, we got this one. I've been trying so hard. An old psychiatric hospital, and then it was a TB hospital before that. You know, dates back to like 1890 something, right? But because they've got all these government files and stuff, basically it's a storage place, but people still work there. No access, you know, and up until, what was it, last year she retired? Anyway, I had a cousin that worked there until she retired. And she'd tell me stories of the hauntings every time they'd go down to the basement to have a smoke. there would be like an old wooden wheelchair that would be moving, or something would be moving, and they'd get spooked, and they're like, but it's too cold to go outside, you know. But they said
Right.
there was a lot of activity down there in that basement, and
Right.
all these years it's been owned by the county, and every time I've tried to get access, I've got shot down. And it's like,
So
well, I'm not going to go up to the third floor or wherever. I just want access to the basement. Nope, 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 nope. If you're
Yeah.
coming in here with cameras and stuff, nope, 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 nope. Can't do that. Got to protect the privacy of whoever's on their files,
Right.
their
yeah,
Well,
clients.
and that's the other thing too. You have to think about too is when it comes to certain locations. Like we always hear about abandoned location. Like people think that these buildings and houses are actually abandoned. Like no one owns them. No one has. Therefore they don't have to worry about trespassing. And in fact, the reality is, and this is what a lot of people don't get, is yeah, they may be abandoned buildings or houses, but even if there is no owner,
That is
clearly
correct.
someone does own it, because like in the case with us, we have, I mean, like especially like if you're driving around the farm area and you see like an
Yeah,
old dilapidated.
there's that one. What is it? The Marble. There's not much left of it because it went through like two or three fires in its
Yeah,
history, and it's abandoned. It's just nothing but rubble. But
yeah,
if you
so
go up to that building, that's trespassing.
yeah.
correct,
The
yeah,
the county, whatever county it sits in, owns the property.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. And if it's not the county, then it's the
So,
state itself that
Or the
owns
city, or the
or the
town,
city.
or the you know.
Yeah, like I said, even the state itself can own it. So
so
like
Nick,
anytime, like
um,
I'm sure
And
some of us have,
aside from that, you can have like homeless people living in it and stuff like that
right.
too.
That's the thing
Well,
you got to
right.
worry about too.
that's the other scary thing
Oh,
about Marbell Caves, or whatever it's called. I'll have to look it up, but they have satanic rituals known to
oh, I'm
go
not.
on
Nice.
there, and
Um,
supposedly there's like a gateway to hell there, as like a portal.
Yeah.
Uh, Joe, I'm
Sorry
sorry. I
guys
don't
to
mean to cut. I
interrupt.
don't mean to. I don't mean to cut you off. Nikki's actually going to be heading off, so I'm going to continue this
I'm
just for.
happy for you.
I'm just going to continue this for a few more
Yeah,
minutes, and then we'll end things then. But
thank you.
anyway, Nikki, it
Yeah.
was great. It was
Thank
great
you
to have
guys.
you. It's good to start
Bye,
Paranormal
Nikki.
Thank you
PWA
guys
Chat.
for joining. Thank you for having me. It's been an absolute blast. Definitely want to do this maybe next week or 2 weeks. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I'm gonna have to leave. But Nick, continue doing what you do and have a good night, everyone, and see you soon. Bye
All right,
guys.
have a good one,
Yeah.
Nikki. Take care.
You too.
So
Bye.
anyway, sorry, Joe. You were saying though, what were you about this barn?
No, it wasn't a barn. It was like it used to be a hotel. I'm trying to find the original name, and it's kind of hard because I don't know how to spell it.
That's always
Makes
good.
I've
Well,
done that in the past too. I'm not laughing like that, but yeah.
sense.
well, while he's looking that up, that I was going to say that's exactly how I'm sure, like what I was going to say is, I'm sure all of us have, driven out in farmlands, and we sometimes see abandoned or dilapidated looking buildings, like farm buildings and stuff. And again, you think no one owns them, but like what you just said, Joe, is that reality is, regardless of how there's, the structure or its appearance or its status, clearly somebody owns it. So no matter what, whether it's owned by the county, town, state, or whatever, you're still trespassing in those type of locations.
Oh, Gary has something.
I'm looking it
Well,
up the
Yeah,
old-fashioned way.
sorry, you had something to say, Gary?
no, just talking about what you were talking about there. My wife and I, we head over to, we fly over to South Australia, and then we drive from South Australia across to New South Wales every year. It's like a 7-hour drive after a 3-hour plane trip. And halfway out in South Australia. There, it's one road. It's a big long drive. There's a town which has got, well, it's basically there's about 3 or 4 residents. The rest of it is unowned and totally free if you want to drive all that time to get out there and investigate. So when we do the trip over there again at the end of the year, we've got a whole town that we're going to have to ourselves.
There you
Well,
go,
that's
Rob.
You're not allowed to break in if it's boarded up, but if the doors are open, which apparently they are, you can go in and you can investigate. Obviously, it's at your own risk because there's nobody who can maintain the safety of it. But
We got a book.
yeah,
Got
Nick.
it, Joe?
There.
Oh, that's Hotel Hell.
Yeah.
ooh,
Wow.
It's
On a
nothing.
book.
There's nothing left of the place when you go there. It's basically rubble,
Right.
of that standing structure. That's what it used to look like probably, 40, 50 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
I
You
can't
know.
say I'm glad they're keeping the Abbey's outside structure.
But it was a hotel. Oh, shit.
Oh, what? Everything okay, Joe?
Yeah, this place isn't too far from me, according to this.
There you
I
go.
might have to go check it out.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
But the thing is, like I said, it was one of those places that there's no obvious, there might be now, but when I drove by there, or whatever, somebody drove by there, there was no trespassing signs, but they weren't there but 5 minutes, and the local police department stopped them and said, stay off.
Well,
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing.
You can take pictures, but only from the road.
right.
Right. So, and that's the other thing too. You gotta be careful of is that just because there's a location out there that doesn't have no trespassing signs doesn't mean that you could still be allowed to
There are a few
explore the building.
places like that, though, that do have those signs, and there's one, and I shouldn't say this, but there is one that I am going to violate that.
I know there's a couple down
Well-
this way. You go onto the property, you get shot. You don't get
You don't
warned.
get arrested.
All right.
You're given a warning.
Basically, this is outdoors. They got a wooden fence, just like it's like one of those log fences. It's
Yeah.
got a log going this way. So it's very easy to kind of climb over it, right?
Yeah.
But that's only on one side. The other side faces the street and the road, and you could park there and walk up the hill. All right, but the story is because there's a princess burial mound there. Okay, they did an they excavated the grave.
Oh, excavated. Yeah,
excavated.
Okay?
excavated.
And her remains got taken to a museum and put on display. Now they're in storage and so on and so forth. But the surrounding tribes, Native Americans, protested all of this, trying to get her remains put back.
Right.
So anyway, the whole thing is if you're up there reading her little, there's a rock, and it's got all this stuff engraved in it about her, and if you're facing that rock on her burial mound reading this at night, you'll hear her shout. She had like 3 belts made out of seashells. You'll hear shells rattling behind you.
Okay.
This isn't actually that far from me. This is over in Astalon State Park in
Okay.
Lake Mills, which isn't too far from here.
And is that the no trespass one you're going to trespass?
Yeah.
Well, I will admit,
Because one is just a state park, and
Yeah.
two, I don't think the cops are going to bother me for just doing a quick video, you know.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, because it seems like they were doing these confessions, I will admit there was one time that, well, it wasn't just me, that in a way, yes, I did technically trespass, but I wasn't the only one. In fact, well, no, in fact,
Technically.
yeah, well, it
Technically.
wasn't. I only did it because my dad was also there too. So if anything was to happen, my dad would do all the talking because it was kind of more of his idea that I mean he's not really as big into the paranormal as I am, but we
dad would have
thought this was the perfect opportunity. But about I want to say about 6 years ago, maybe almost 10. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember exactly which year it was that I did it, but we went to this location located in Indiana called the Cole. It was called I think it was called the Coles County Mental Asylum. Now,
Oh, just my kind of place.
yeah, well, there's not a lot of surprisingly for a location like this, there's not a lot of history that you could find on the building. Unfortunately, it's in very very poor condition. They never open it up as a museum or for investigations or to the public. Otherwise, it's just been standing exposed to the elements and basically rotting to the present day. So, I mean, it's pretty much one of the top 10 buildings in the state of Indiana that's in danger of being demolished. But my dad and I, we decided to go check out the place, even though I did remind him that he said, I even did tell him that, this is, trespassing of what we're doing. But my dad was not too concerned because at about the same time that we went, this was an area of Indiana we used to go every year. We don't go there anymore for a lot of different reasons. But there's something that they have that's called the Covered Bridge Festival. Now, just to give a little bit of side information on that, Indiana is known for having a lot of covered bridges, which a lot of them are of historical significance. A lot of them were built in the late 18 and early 1900s. It's not the state that has the most covered bridges, but it is certainly one of the states that has the largest amount. I think it's Pennsylvania, I think, that has the most. Now, not surprisingly, most of the not surprisingly, some of these covered bridges are also rumored to be haunted too, which I have investigated, which, of course, since they're bridges, there's no laws prohibiting us from checking out these bridges because it's all public access. But in the area that we were at, it's a county called Park County, which is often referred to as the covered bridge capital of the world because Park County alone has 23 covered bridges, including two that are rumored.
Wow.
Yeah, including two that are rumored to be haunted. Now, because of that very reason, they have this event that's during the fall season called the Covered Bridge Festival to honor the covered bridges that not only are still standing to this day, but to also the ones that simply, no longer exist. So, anyways, going back to the reason why I brought that up was going back to the building that we went to was it was that same weekend as the Covered Bridge Festival. And so my dad was not too concerned about, if the police showed up while we were checking this building out because most of the officers as well as security, they were mainly giving their attention and focus on the festival. So if anything, it's like my dad's like saying they have a lot more to worry about with this festival than, two guys walking into this building. And so we walked into the building and we got to check it out for a while. Then all of a sudden we heard a car coming and we thought, oh, it's probably the police. We better go talk to them. The car pulls up and it wasn't a police officer. It was
Jeremy.
No, it wasn't Jeremy because this was long before I met Jeremy. But the weirdest thing was it was this woman that showed. She probably must have been maybe like in her late 40s, early 50s at the very least. She was by far the strangest person that we ever met. Like, I even filmed this live on Facebook, and you could hear her in the background, like making these weird. I don't know if she was trying to sound spooky or anything like that, just like moaning these. I don't know what it was, but you can clearly see me in the video trying to avoid this person. Like, just get out of here, man! Just get out of here. And
Maybe a demon or a ghost.
I have no idea. She was just. I never even found out what her name was. It was. it was strange nonetheless. But yes, it was one of the few times that we did go without permission. But we also, that's the other thing too, was while we were exploring this building, because as Nikki said earlier, it's not even just that it's illegal, but it's also unsafe. I can't tell you how many times I had to look down on the ground because a lot of these areas were made out of wood. And any of that weak wood, no doubt, I'm honestly surprised that none of it didn't give way and I could have fallen through. That could have been very dangerous for us.
Oh,
Uh, so that's here. So in my personal opinion, yeah, it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I think that my video would also kind of show the dangers of when you're going into these buildings because like again like I said earlier you don't know what you're walking into when you're especially when these buildings are truly abandoned.
Yeah.
we should set a date, Nick, for you to come up here and go to Ascalon State Park with me.
Yeah, I'd be more than
That
happy
would
to
be
do that.
cool.
You know,
That would be
I want
awesome.
to see that video.
aside from the Indian Princess Burial Mound, and so on and so forth. When I went there the first time, remember this, I told you this story. We had fresh batteries. We had the little mini cards, that you put in cameras to save things.
Yep.
We had fresh cards, brand new. Everything was brand new, right? Batteries, the whole works. We had so much equipment failure out there, and we didn't even realize some of it until we got back and went to check the video and stuff, and it said file corrupted and all of this. And it's like, oh my God. And we ended up going back there again, but the thing that happened that stands out the most, the first time we were there, I was walking around with an EMF meter, I can't even see it. But anyway, I'm sitting there and I was like, just to prove it's not me, wiggling it around and stuff because this thing was going nuts. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I sat it down on the wooden steps on one of the mounds. They got some like 3 or 4 really big mounds at this park, right? And they got like the wooden beams for steps going up. And I set it down and I was filming this, and that thing was just going absolutely nuts. And that film was what got destroyed.
Okay.
There was no
Always.
no proof of it anywheres. But we
Wow.
had so much equipment failure and stuff out there. And if you look at this place now, when you go out there to this, it's not very big. But if you look, there's no electrical wires or nothing that would have been setting that thing off like it was going off.
Right.
And we went back there. We got some good stuff, but not quite as good as the first day.
Okay.
The first time we went.
Well, very fascinating.
Gary?
Yeah. I'm
Well,
going to have to jump ship, guys.
Yeah, I was about to say I think we're going to wrap
Pleasure
up.
to meet you, Gary.
First off, Gary, thank you so much for being on with us tonight. First,
Thank
it
you
was
for having
great
me.
it was great getting to know you. We'll definitely have you back on. Actually, just to kind of end it, because Kate said this a few minutes ago. First off, she said, thank you for answering all of her questions. She really appreciated it. So, but either way, we'll definitely have you back on. But just before you go, where can people find you, Gary?
Well, there's a few places. If you go on Facebook, you can look up Gary Anderson. You'll find this ugly mug. You can also find me at the West Australian Paranormal Researchers page on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube at all, I've got 2 podcasts there, the Static Echoes podcast and the Shadow Files podcast. So, again, if you find West Australian paranormal researchers, there'll be links to both of those on there. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. You guys are all awesome and like-minded people, have awesome conversations.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure to send those share those links out so they can find you that way.
I'll have to have you on my show.
Sounds good, mate. Open to it anytime.
And I didn't know I didn't know what Nikki's I didn't know about this from Nikki, but I guess it was your birthday not too long ago. If that's correct.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, I've got a lot going on. One of the reasons I have to go.
Well,
Happy
But
21st
thank
birthday.
No, I was gonna say, hey, well, happy belated birthday, Gary. So I hope you had a good day. But like I said, we'll definitely have you back on real soon.
Sounds fantastic, guys. You take it easy and enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, we're here.
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Anyways, I think we're gonna end things. But is there anything else you guys want to say before we end things tonight, or do you guys have anything up like anything coming up? You guys have anything going on?
No, I wish I did, but no.
I know. Come on, Nicole, you got all those people in
Well,
Denver.
I'm
I
gonna try to
know.
get. I'm gonna try to get back to doing my show. I gotta find a guest for next Friday.
Okay.
So and go from there because I do have one lined up in March because she rescheduled. So we're going to talk about the Ghost Buzz magazine.
Oh, Ghostbusters magazine, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to have the girls from Michigan on.
Oh,
Janet
Awesome.
Ramsey and her crew. So that ought to be interesting.
I'm trying to get the same
good.
color Nick has. So
I was gonna say, what the hell is that light, Robert?
But that's not until March. So until then, tomorrow, I'm busy because I'm going to do the Friday the 13th thing.
Yeah.
For me. And
You do that.
I even got my special
Oh,
Friday.
there you go. That's awesome.
that's
Friday
cool.
the 13th on dance.
I actually did have a new accessory, but unfortunately, it's not
Whoa,
coming in.
whoa.
It's not coming
That's
in.
no way to kill your girlfriend.
No, it's for Friday. It's just for myself. It was it's not. Unfortunately, it's not going to show up on time. It's going to show up on Valentine's Day, which I wish it could have been a day sooner. But then again, like I said, we got 2 more Friday the 13th coming up this year, so I'll have.
Yeah, I know. One's just before my birthday next month.
I know it's so. Well, what I got was
we got to do something special on my show.
Of course. What I got, which is going to show up on Saturday, is some of you guys may have already heard me say this on the last show, but they're Jason Voorhees glasses, where literally it's part of his hockey mask, and then it has like the 2 typical pieces like you put on, like the holder pieces for the glasses. So yeah, like those. Yeah, but the front of it is the mask, and it looks so cool. I'm thinking. Cool. Yeah, I think you guys are going to be really impressed with it. Again, it's too bad it won't arrive on time tomorrow, but at least I'll have it for the other 2 Friday the 13th. So I'll have it ready either way.
I got some new glasses for my image.
Oh, there you go.
Did you see them? You didn't see them?
I don't think so.
I don't know how well they'll show up on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, those are pretty cool.
Those are nice.
They're supposed to look purple.
Here, hold on. Let me zoom in on that quickly.
I can see a little bit of I think it's reflection. But
yeah, it's a reflection, but when I look at them, they're purple. That's
the important thing.
I got purple flannel. It's all part of the insane asylum. My logo is purple and white, and so I'm just sticking with it.
Awesome.
So on Wednesday night, your time. No, Joe, keep going.
No, that's all right.
No, you sure you don't want to interrupt other people again? Wednesday night, there's for Paranormal Bunker on YouTube. That's the other group that I'm with, so which is Cole and Nikki on there. So that's at 10 on the West Coast, so adjust for wherever you are from there. They're broadcasting from Concrete, Washington. So, yep.
Yeah, we'll
So
definitely
from
tune in for that one.
10 to
Yeah.
12. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
If I can, yep, I'll be on.
Well,
Yep.
sounds like
Well,
a
you're
good
a
plan.
night owl.
I'll definitely be tuning in for that, Robert. So yeah,
Okay.
that's cool that you're.
I'll send you a link. Yeah,
Send the
I'll
link.
send you over the link for it so you can see.
Yeah, of course. If you wanted to send the link too, obviously feel free to do so. So that would be great.
Yep.
The link to the site, not that other link.
But I can give you Tom's view as well.
Oh, that's what Nick's computer is full of, is all those Tom Hub videos.
I know.
No, it's his OnlyFans, not Hub.
Oh, it's only Tom's. Okay, my bad.
No, it's Tom's only beds.
All right, guys. Well,
And Nicole's just like, what the hell are they on about?
I know. Sorry, Nicole. You stumbled into it.
all right, guys.
We're gonna have to
well,
arrange something, Nicole. We're gonna have to figure out an investigation for us.
I gotta get on that. I gotta
I
find
haven't been
somebody.
doing anything for a while. I've just been like chilling, not even thinking about them. And then I'll talk to like some of these guys and I'll be like, I want to go on an investigation.
I know. Life's been crazy
I'm
the last couple months, but
I'm going to do an Adrian and feed my face. So I'm going to do it on screen. Like Adrian. Adrian, if you're watching this, stop eating on the corner. No one wants to see it.
That's hilarious.
Later.
Wish Mike get better for me, please.
will do.
For me.
Yeah.
Tell him hi,
Definitely.
too.
We definitely wish him our thoughts, prayers, and healing for him.
Yeah, like I said, he seems to be back to normal, but we don't know what caused it. So
Oh, what's
Right,
normal to
yeah.
Mike, though? I mean, no, I'm kidding. No, I get what you're saying, though. Medically, I get what you're saying. Medically, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
I understand totally.
it's usually me with the weird shit that happens, not him.
Right. Same.
Right.
It's me. So
So,
hopefully he
Alright,
gets
well,
better soon.
Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap things up because
Yes.
it's already past midnight here. I know it is for me and Joe. So yeah,
It's a
Nick,
lovely
enjoy
night.
your date whenever it is.
yeah. Well, it's Valentine's Day that I'm going to be going, but I will be alongside with Joe. I'll also be on 13th Dimension tomorrow night, but only for the first half because I'm going out to a haunted
Right.
house.
I'll be
with
at
a friend
work.
of mine for a slasher. Chris and Robert, are you guys?
He's
planning
testing his luck.
Yeah. Robert and Chris, are you guys playing on 2013 Dimension 2? Or we just lost Robert.
I guess
Are you
Robert's
playing-
not. No, because I'll be at work.
Oh, okay. Well, if
it's a-
anything, I'll probably see you then on Sunday for Minecraft. But we'll just give another quick minute just before we go in case Robert does come back. But yeah, so like I said, I'll be on 13th Dimension, but only for the first half of the show because like I said I'm going to be going out myself. So either way, it should be a fun show that we're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th franchise.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, I know Jeremy also wants
to
to.
those.
Yeah, well, I know Jeremy also wants to keep it to just an hour show too. So
that ain't gonna happen.
yeah, well, yeah,
We all know how it goes when we get talking movies.
right. Okay, so well, in my
Robert
case,
just
I
said no
know
plans for the-
I know I won't be able to see how. I know Jeremy wants to keep it just to an hour, but
You said
obviously,
that before.
I know it's probably gonna go longer, but obviously, I won't be there for the entire show because, like
Didn't
I
you
said,
say
I'm
that
only gonna
about
do
the
it
show
for the first
tonight?
half.
You know, why don't you just end this so that I can say what I want to say offline?
Yeah, that's what I was about to. And Robert actually you don't have to wait for Robert.
No,
He just
I'm sitting here waiting for him to end this show so I could say a couple of things to Nick that
Yeah.
was supposed to that
Uh-oh.
don't need to be public knowledge.
No, what I was just going to say was I just got a response back from Robert. He just messaged me, so we don't have to wait for him to come back. But he said he's not going to be. He's not. He hasn't got anything going on for tomorrow, so he might also join us for 13th Dimension possibly as well. But anyways, for everybody who's been
He's gonna
watching,
hunt down road pictures.
yeah, I saw that. Anyways, for everybody who's been watching, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. We appreciate the viewership, even though it's late for a few of us.
Can't help you with
Guys,
that.
you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. And depending on how Nikki's schedule is going to look, I guess we'll see you guys possibly next week or the week afterwards. So
Sounds
until then,
fabulous.
yeah.
Good
So
Sounds
until
great.
then, you guys all have a good night. Happy
You too.
Valentine's Day.
All right. Bye.
Peace.